Hello and welcome to Butts to Nuts, a movie review podcast hosted by me, Ben Charlesworth, and my brother Scott Charlesworth. Oh, usually you do a little noise. Scott, how you feeling after the movie?
Man, wow.
Wow.
Isn't this an incredible movie, man?
I'm feeling so nice right now.
I'm feeling so mellow.
Yeah, I'm feeling so fresh and so clean.
So fresh and so clean.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about life, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm thinking, damn, what if we were stuck in a TV show?
What would we do?
Are you my brother?
Who knows? I could not be your brother. I could be your auntie for all you know.
The thing is though, Scott.
Yeah, Ben.
I don't know, because how would you have
This is true.
or have your own time?
These are the questions that we have to ask.
That is the questions that we have to ask ourselves every single day.
Doesn't this
How
movie...
do I have holidays?
How do we have holidays?
Doesn't this movie what?
Doesn't it just make you... I don't know. It just makes you feel a certain way.
Yeah, you start questioning everything in life.
There is no movie out there, not one,
That's
that
cool.
makes you feel like this. Exactly.
I'd say that there's not another one called The Truman Show either.
Yeah, that's true.
Men, show.
Wow.
I feel
that was
like
incredible.
I feel like I was in The Truman Show the other day.
Yeah,
I'm
tell me
sitting-
your experience.
I've already told you this on a walk, but I'm
Okay.
going to tell you again.
I do like a little recap.
Maybe you can give me a bloody fake reaction like the actors in The Truman Show.
All right.
Oh,
Oh, no, it won't be fake. What are you talking about?
Oh, you bloody... All right. I won't mention the wink you just did to me.
What are you talking about? There wasn't a wink.
Wink. Oh!
Anyways, your experience.
I'm sitting at a food court. Like, there's this sick food court where they have all these Asian noodles. Sorry, I'll adjust the mic. Am I better now?
Yeah, you're good.
Sorry.
You're good.
Sorry.
Just get your little lips in there.
I pulled away a little bit. I'm just a little bit hesitant.
You pulled out.
I did.
So you're sitting
I'm
in
eating
the food court.
I'm eating my lemon cumin noodles, flat
Ooh.
egg noodles. Okay, there's red onion, capsicum, lovely slow cooked lamb with a bit of cumin.
Damn.
Some say cumin.
But we say cumin.
Maybe I should know lemon.
Cumin.
Yeah, I said cumin.
It's like a Q, like a pull Q.
Maybe cumin. Lemon cumin noodles, baby. Then
Can you imagine if someone was coming on your noodles?
Yeah, me and my mates were just sitting down. We weren't even doing anything goofy at this point.
Yeah.
And then my mate goes, damn, look at that guy. And we turn around and there's this like 19-year-old guy taking a photo of us with the flash on. And then he goes to walk away. But the thing is, if you're a stalker, I mean, it's a stalker 101.
Yeah.
You don't take a photo, number one, with a flash on in broad daylight. And number two, you don't stand up a meter away, and then take the photo. Like, come on, guys.
Such an amateur, man.
I turned to him and said, if you're going to take a photo, at least take a good one.
and then you guys took a photo.
Yeah, we took multiple photos.
Oh,
it was a
man.
beautiful, wholesome moment.
I love that story, but it proves that we're in a simulation.
Or a TV show.
TV show.
And he was a fan, and that was unscripted.
Yeah.
And it wasn't meant to happen.
Maybe it's the Curly show.
Maybe it is
Who
the Curly
knows?
Show. Maybe we're in it together, and the show's about us too.
And we don't know.
Fuck.
Doesn't that just, after we've talked about this before, I forget what episode we talked on it about.
6.
But it could have been. But we think that we're a main character. Like, you think you're the main character after seeing a movie like this.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, you always feel inspired or sad depending on what movie you've just seen. And this makes you feel like, man, are we being filmed 24/7?
I think, it's a good movie
crazy.
when you start wanting to, like, adopt the character that you've just watched and start becoming the person you've just watched.
And want to travel to Fiji.
I do want to go to Fiji.
Yeah, man, what a great travel destination that we've never been to.
True.
Man.
Show.
Oh,
Bloody hell. All right, you want to hit me with a point?
dude, I love the product placement in this movie, man.
Yes.
How good was it?
What was my favorite was the beer one.
The beer one
When
was
he's
awesome.
drinking the beer and you're like,
I love this beer.
Turns it to the camera,
Yeah.
smiles, love it.
The cocoa, the hot cocoa was a good one as well.
Oh yeah,
Who's
I'm going to
drinking
take
that?
my shirt off. It's hot again.
Yeah.
I haven't done this for a few podcasts.
Come on, take your shirt off.
All right, feel in the air.
I liked the cocoa one, obviously. The knife, that was funny when she grabbed the knife and was like, freaking out with Truman in the kitchen. I also really liked the subtle one with the barber's advertisement on the side of the truck when they were in the traffic
Oh,
jam.
yeah.
Thought that was really genius.
Like, almost every scene had something in the background.
When he was pushed against the wall by those two old twin guys.
Yeah.
Man, there was so many product placement pieces in this movie to this world, and it was just done to perfection. It was so smart.
Those two twins were talking about a policy, right? Do you think if the show kept going on that they'd ever actually get to that point of the policy, or every morning they're just there to go, oh yeah, we'll look at it, we'll look at it next week, and they'll just keep pushing it back and they'll never actually do it?
It's just to give some routine because they can't write that much material.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
I loved as well when you saw the newsagent's face, like the guy who's selling him the magazines, the newsagent guy, and when he didn't actually go to him for the first time, the guy's just like looking around going, bro,
what's happening?
What the fuck?
The routine's broken.
What are you doing, man?
But then what about when Truman starts like figuring it out and starts looking at people looking at him, and he's like, what the hell is going on here?
Yeah.
Oh, man, this movie does it so well, and it does it in a way that doesn't rush into it too much. It's just a nice little slow build-up.
It's
First
subtle.
with the light, which is a very obvious one.
Yeah.
But it's done so well with the excuse of the plane debris falling from the sky and stuff like that on the radio.
Yeah, it's ironic that it starts off with something so like on the nose, so obvious.
Yeah.
But then it's at the end, some of the cues are like when he's grabbing, what's his wife's name?
I don't know. We'll just call it
Cheryl. No.
Truman's wife.
Truman's wife. He's grabbing.
I remember the only other character that I really remember the name of is Cynthia.
I thought it was Sylvia.
Sylvia?
Maybe it was Cynthia.
I think it was Sylvia.
What was the other guy? Marvin, right?
Was he
Marlon.
Marlon? Was that Truman's mate?
Here's us raving. Oh man, this is such a good movie.
Such a good movie, but
we
we can't
only remember the
names.
main character, and that's because it's the title of the movie.
We're good with faces, not names.
Yeah,
Like, give us a
there's
break.
Director boy, Paul Giamatti.
Now, speaking of the director, what about his fit? That was such a typical director's outfit, with the beret.
Oh, I
and
thought
the
you
glasses.
meant like he had an anger fit, and I was like, oh fuck, did we watch the same movie?
No, not his fit like a seizure.
He starts just beating the shit out of Paul Giamatti. Man's just screaming.
He was very cross internally, the director, after he made that mistake. But
Which mistake?
Oh, not watching the camera enough when Truman escaped. But the creator, we'll call him the creator because he's more of a creator than a director, I'd say. He is a director, but he's like, this is my project.
He's an entrepreneur.
He's like, theoretically, he's the father of Truman, the adoptive father of Truman.
Yeah, it's
Like, he's the corporation. Corporation, not cooperation.
It's kind of weird, eh?
It is weird.
Fucked. That he is like, he controls all of what happens to Truman.
Everything.
Like everything's so forcefully pushed,
But
as well.
if you live in it from day dot, you don't see it until you become mature.
Yeah,
And that's the beauty of this movie, because it's so realistic in that regard that, if you just grow up in your environment, you're a product of it. And Truman always has this feeling of independence throughout the whole movie. And you can tell he's had this for his whole life, being an only child, like his desire to go see the world on his own and explore.
Yeah, from a young kid. And then they said, oh, no, don't worry.
No.
The whole world's been explored. Let's kill this child's dreams.
Let's put a dog in front of him and scare the shit out of him, or kill his dad.
Also, did you notice when they talked about
independence and stuff.
We'll get back to that. Hang on.
Yeah.
But you notice as well in the travel agency when she said, oh, there's not a flight to Fiji for a month. That was probably so that they could
Write some stuff for it.
and build a set for Fiji, knock him out and then take him there.
Exactly, because we saw the Mount Rushmore photo, which was so obviously not Mount Rushmore.
Yeah.
That was so funny. He's like, oh, I didn't realize it was that small. Oh, things are a lot bigger when you're a kid.
Yeah.
And then they just quickly close the photo album and move on. But that was so on the nose when they were showing Truman all the baby photos, like trying to convince him to have a baby with his wife.
How could you live with yourself, though, as pretending to be someone's pretending to be someone's mum.
Yeah.
Knowing that this kid's been adopted by a corporation.
she lives with
Cooperation,
her
as you said.
cooperation.
Yeah, I said it right. You said it wrong. And then I was
I'm
making
confusing
fun of
you,
how
man.
you said it wrong.
Yeah.
No. I said it right, and then I said it wrong on purpose to make fun of you when you said it wrong before.
Oh,
So, independence. You want to keep going there?
well, I was just stating the fact, like that
Facts and figures. That's your name.
facts and figures. That this is just his character, man, and it's just so well put through the whole movie. It's just fantastic. I love it. It just
Did you
it's just awesome. Jim
notice
Carrey.
the Easter egg as well? So when he had his ID out, and so his middle name was Independence. It was Truman Independence Burbank. Yeah,
Jim Carrey
you
was
sound like a rightful now, don't you?
you're just throwing me under the bus. You dirty dingo.
Oh, you're a doofus.
Oh, don't start with that again. Don't start with that. All right, Jim Carrey's performance, man. Oh, that was top tier. I honestly think this is his best movie. This is straight up his best movie.
I would the best movie that we've seen. All right,
that's true. We haven't seen all of them.
Let's come clean. All right, Scott.
We haven't.
We're
seen
honest
every
with the people.
Carrey movie.
Oh well, yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
Well, I want to be honest with the people. All right. And this could make people think, "What? You haven't seen this movie?" I'm sorry, we haven't. We should. We will. We'll watch it. Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind is meant to be like top shit as well.
What year did he do that?
And here's another embarrassing one that we haven't seen.
Yeah.
Is there the one, was it 27 or whatever? The one where he's like obsessed with the numbers? And
Yeah,
shit?
20. I think it's just called 27. Oh, the number 27 or something.
27 or 21.
I can Google it if you want.
Maybe give it a Google.
Yeah.
Yeah, put those little fingers to work, eh?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I love it when you type those keys. Yeah. All right.
Jim
So he's
Carrey,
currently
27.
He's pressed enter.
It's just
27.
Jim Carrey 27. Wait, hang
Jim
on.
Carrey
what?
27.
Jim Carrey 27. I know. And the whole thing revolves around the number 27.
Yeah.
Movie.
Yeah, that's-
movie.
Oh, that's the name of it, isn't
Is
it?
it? I think it's just called 27.
Yeah. I didn't.
Anyways,
It's-
yeah.
Obviously, it's not going to be called Jim Carrey 27.
Oh, it's not coming up.
Maybe it's 21.
Oh, it's 21.
Oh.
No, it's 23.
Oh, it is too. It's 23. It's 23.
Oh, it's 21. No, it's 23.
It's 23. That's it.
Crime
because-
and mystery.
Oh, you're a crime and mystery, aren't you?
I am a bit of a crime and mystery. What? 8% on Rotten Tomatoes?
Oh, well, there you go.
Holy shit. Well, we gotta get our little feet dipped in this
In Jim Carrey's bumhole.
in these little Kerry crack.
Yeah, in his gooch hole.
Yeah.
But what Eternal Sunshine's meant to be like top shit.
Yeah.
Well, maybe this is his best one. Who knows? We haven't seen them.
I'm gonna put my hand on my heart and say that this most probably will be his.
Scott, that's not your heart. That's your cock.
Oh,
Move it up. There we go. Yep. All right.
right
Keep
there,
going.
right there. I think this will be his best movie.
Wow.
It
Hit
just
me with
holds-
another point then, if you think that.
It holds a special place in my heart, and I want to elaborate on Jim Carrey's performance because he's so incredible of being able to have the ability to carry this kind of manic sort of state, but also pull it back when he needs to. This movie lets him shine and use all of his acting ability from subtlety when he really needs to, and then the craziness
overt,
when it
yeah.
works for the story. It's not pushed in any way. He's just, you get what I mean.
Yeah,
right?
like I do love seeing constant goofy Jim Carrey, but sometimes it can be like, all right, is this the whole movie? All right, this is Ace Ventura, awesome, but it is like that same sort of guy the whole time. Whereas this, it just feels like very real.
There is so much dynamic.
Yeah, he's so different throughout the whole thing. I think where he's super crazy is the escape scene. That is awesome.
Yes.
The driving with the wife and she's freaking out.
And he's really unhinged there. He's like, man, I'm going to get to the bottom of this. And she's freaking out.
Let's go to the Atlantic City and all this shit.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, that's great. Then they put the whole fire over and
Yeah, that was great. And then the nuclear waste, the nuclear thingy accident sort of thing.
that cop gave it away saying, what do you say?
Oh,
Thanks, Truman.
thanks, Truman. Yeah. And he's
'cause
like,
of-
what the fuck?
Who the fuck's this
I gotta
guy?
get out of here.
But
He was close.
did they knock him out or did they just drive him back?
They would have just driven him back. I don't think they would have knocked him out because then he would have been extra sus.
Pussies.
Get some anesthetic on him.
Yeah, come on. I was about to say lube him up.
Lube him up.
Don't lube
Get him
up.
all wet.
Drug him up.
Yeah.
The friend was a bit of a doofus.
He was a little bit of a doofus. He's like, Truman, just trust your heart, bro.
Can we make that the official insult of the podcast? Doofus?
Doofus. Yeah. Or you silly goose.
Maybe we can claim too.
We could claim
It
as
is
much
greedy.
as we can.
It is greedy. But to be fair, talking about greedy, how big was the studio?
Oh,
It took
wow.
up, like,
that was
half
most
of
of
it.
Hollywood.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
You can't make any other movies. It's just Truman Show.
Okay, so when this movie is set, technically in the present, right? 97 for this movie, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, our present,
Yeah.
97.
97, because we lived in that time. They would have had to start the construction of this way back in the 80s. I'm talking early 80s, because this is crazy. Like, they would have had to construct an entire town, the dome, the studio, get all the money and funding for it in the first place.
A lot of buckets of water.
Lot of buckets of water. Oh my God, how much seawater do you have to fill up in there?
You reckon it was seawater?
It was probably... It was definitely salty. It was
Unless
definitely
they
salty
put
water.
fresh water and then they got a solution
And
mixed
they just
in with salt.
bought a bunch of salt from the Himalayas and just like cracked a bunch in there. You know, just threw salt shakers in there.
That's a lot of salt.
Maybe it's too much salt. I don't know.
That's why I wanted to get out of there.
Yeah.
That's why I was afraid of the water. Too salty.
Too salty, man.
Anyway, keep going.
But yeah. Oh man, I've lost my train of thought.
Shit.
But it's just taken up so much of Hollywood, eh? It's they would have had to start building this massive structure way back when. Crazy, man.
Do you think that if this was built in real life
Yeah.
and it was approved and it's like, yeah, you can adopt a little boy who's just been born, do you think
Crazy,
that
by
it would
the
have
way.
the same reception as it does in the show?
Not nowadays. No, there would be riots. There would be all sorts of stuff. This is a really warped reality where you have the agreeance of everyone on this same topic. I don't know if it would have been easier to do it back then, but maybe it would have been because I got no idea. It was, man, it is. Everyone is very one-sided about this Truman thing, but there are points where you see characters who are against this.
Yeah.
Maybe this corporation, was so powerful that it was just able to do it and get away with it.
Yeah,
But
I
then
don't know.
manipulate the minds of, the public into liking it. Because
the director had people those two guys who came in and said, keep him alive kind of thing.
yeah, we want to keep
So
this
those
thing
guys
going.
were probably investors or some shit.
Yeah.
I think it goes super, super deep. But they had like a whole station dedicated to it. And
Yeah, their own station. That is basically taking over primetime television.
worldwide, it was big shit, man.
So you would have had to have the best marketing campaign to be able to convince people to actually get invested in this. I mean, it is an incredible idea when you think about it. That's probably why.
Yeah.
But it's got a lot of moral implications that are super questionable. Like, you're filming a child from birth.
Yeah, that's the thing. Surely they've slipped at least a couple of times where...
They did show evidence of that, remember?
Yeah, oh no, I mean that. Like, that was much appreciated. That's what I liked about this movie. Actually, I'll get back to my other point later.
Yeah.
What I really liked about this movie was that it showed enough that it made you... It answered, like, little questions that you'd have along the way. Like,
Yeah.
what would happen if... Surely not everyone would agree with this. What if someone came back? What if someone broke into the show?
And then it
Things would
showed
go...
that.
Technical
Yeah.
things would go wrong, wouldn't they? What happened in his part? Like, all those sort of things. It's like, oh, cool. But it didn't also over-explain and go through from yay to... what's the expression?
Yay to Zay.
I don't know, maybe.
Yeah. No, I get what you mean though. It
It didn't show his whole childhood.
It didn't
and shit
give
like
too
that.
much, but it left you to be able to question these things and wonder what certain points of his life would have been like.
Yeah, but it gave
Yeah.
you enough to be like, oh, okay.
This is what it was like. Yeah.
Yeah, but surely they slipped up at a couple of times with the sex, and
Yeah.
obviously if he wanted to touch his little Truman when he's a teenager and shit.
Yeah, I was thinking that, like, what if he just went out to the beach and he's just, busting a wank on sand, and then the cameras are just like, okay, just keep it a headshot, keep it a headshot, and then he's just nutting, and then just like a little white boy that's like
a little white boy
flies across the screen.
Little Truman flies across.
A bit of little Truman essence flies across the camera.
I don't know, because the security guards did say,
he's like, they've never shown anything before.
Yeah, he sounded disappointed. He wanted to see a bit of Truman.
He wanted some Truman action.
Fuck, I've never seen him in the shower naked. I've never seen him having sex with his wife that doesn't really love him, but's just acting.
Yeah.
I didn't like her at all.
You know what's incredible to think about is that it's part of her contract. It would have been to have a baby with Truman. That's part of her contract.
That's your job, to have a baby with a man and lie to his face.
For your whole life. How can you fucking live with yourself?
But also,
horrible.
She's like, what is she going to do? She can never have a proper child on the outside, can she?
Well, remember at the start, she said, no, she can't. The Truman Show is a lifestyle.
Yeah.
And you choose to do this. She must have been getting big bucks.
She looked nuts. Yeah, but what can you spend it on?
What can she spend it on? Maybe one day, I don't know, she's going to retire at 60 and then go, they'll write her death into the show.
Yeah.
And then she'll go off and buy an island or something.
Yeah, that's true. They probably would do that.
But exactly, you can't actually spend anything in the moment. And what if an accident happens and you do die early? You've just spent your life on a TV show.
Yeah, but I don't want to make that sound like that's a plot point. That's to the film's credit, I reckon, showing how nuts this whole thing is. Like this film is so good at making you ask questions before, during, and after. Yeah. It's a ponderer, that's for sure. It is a ponderer.
We have been pondering heavily.
I think some people as well, that's what throws them off, I guess. They think it's a comedy and then they're like, oh, this is a ponderer, but it's PG, but it's pondering. And it's like, yeah, I don't know, just kind of fits in that pondering category.
It goes to show that you don't have to have an MA movie for it to be some sort of psychological mind craziness. Yeah, it doesn't have to be like crazy blood and gore to shock you into something, or like, fear of something dastardly happening, when you can just subtly hint it.
What were we just talking about? Because I thought I had a point coming. I felt a seed growing. I was like, this is going to be gold. This is what's going to get us on the charts. And then
God damn it.
It kind of...
We've lost our money maker.
No. It's right there. What were we just talking about?
We were talking about the Truman.
Holy shit.
Sorry?
Yeah, go.
I'm pointing at you.
Yeah.
Yeah, do you like that?
Not really.
Okay, I'll put it away.
Yeah, put it away, big boy.
We were talking about the moral implications of this show. Is there something? Is the idea there? Like, if you come up with it and you need to speak it, just interrupt me and just put it out.
It was there. It was right. When you have a thought and it's right there.
We were talking about Truman's wife.
And she said something, and I was like, God, that's Jesus, God, woman.
What about? What a woman.
All right, hang on. Fuck it. Let's move on.
Okay.
What do you think would have happened when he left?
I have a couple of questions, and that is one of my questions.
All right, answer me. Question me.
So, do you reckon he would have found Cynthia? I believe so. I reckon they would have ended up together.
I reckon it's out there.
Cynthia or Sylvia, one of the two. I can't remember because we don't remember names.
I don't want to say who I will be voting for the election. I'm actually under 18, but I'm going to move on from that, and maybe I'm going to move on to a different question. Next question, please. Well, I reckon he did find her because she was obviously going out to find him. Yes. And she knows where he was.
And would they have gone to Fiji together? It's a big fucking dome.
Yeah. Well, everyone knows where it is. Come on. Yeah, they would have.
They would have gone to Fiji and had lots of babies and danced with Fijians and gone on the sand and drink cocktails.
Here's my counter question. Let me throw this to you, all right?
I'm ready.
Let's get political.
Oh, fuck me.
Because the director wanted him to stay even when Truman found out, which means that he wanted to keep the show going. Yeah. Obviously. Doesn't take a brainiac to figure that one out. So, he's obviously got secchies all around the place.
Yeah.
For those that don't know, security guards. All right, I'll keep up with the Aussie lingo, mate.
Yeah, get with it.
He's got secchies all around the joint. Do you reckon that he, under like a contract, could take Truman before he could escape and throw him in the show and keep him there?
Oh, what? What have you just done to my brain?
Yeah.
Yeah, he probably could. No, he couldn't.
But do you reckon he would?
Oh my God, Ben! I think I've just. Okay. I have cummed.
Clean it up and talk.
You know how he works in like the life insurance and the death thing and all that? Like, what if one of his bosses or something slipped him a thing of paper one day, like a contract, and he signed it secretly, so he actually can't leave? Like, he signed his life away or something.
Fuck.
Yeah.
That could be a possibility.
That could be a possibility.
How do you know? You wouldn't know. And then he leaves. Because this is what I reckon would happen. Then, if he ever got taken back in as a prisoner, then more people would start being against the show. Then there'd be riots. And then it'd be like a whole thing. And then the whole show would collapse. And then the director would be like, damn, my art's been destroyed.
Yeah.
And I don't know, he'd go live in the woods naked for like the rest of his life or something in solitude.
Yeah.
And then Truman would finally escape, but 2 years later.
That sounds like quite a lifestyle, though.
That's the sequel, bro.
You know what? Yes, that is the sequel. But because of all the questions that it leaves you with, you almost don't want a sequel at all.
Oh, no one wants a sequel.
Like, absolutely
Don't
not.
give it a sequel.
That's what makes this movie perfect.
But
Near perfect, I say.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Very, very, very high quality.
Why? What's your little stain on the lovely tablecloth here?
Okay, so the return of Truman's father. When this is my only criticism of this movie. I was trying to think of one, but this is the only one. So when Truman meets his father again, it seems that his father is very emotional. Like, it's only for a very brief moment, takes off his hat and he's like reaching to go touch his son's face. Well, son, quotation marks, adopted. But yeah, that seemed like he wanted to restart an emotional connection with him. But let me just read what I wrote here. The way that he acted later and how the director said that he was very angry that he lost his role as the father.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I just kind of think it was weird when they brought him back into the movie. Like, after they took him out and then he was written back in.
Because I feel like
I don't know.
he wanted
I didn't
to
think
be...
I liked that because I thought I was kind of confused. Like, was he there for an emotional standpoint, or was he just there for his role?
He was there for his role.
Like,
I think
obviously, but I don't know. I just think the bus scene when he was looking at him, I don't know. It kind of confused me
because when he got written out of the show, the whole reason he got written out of the show was so that Truman would have the fear of the water.
That's right. So he didn't.
But he was pissed off about that. He's like, I want to keep getting money and being in this show.
Yeah.
And I reckon since then he's gone into anger and he's been like, fuck, this is so annoying. And he's come up with a way to sneak onto the show to see Truman and cause havoc. That was his plan, to cause havoc. And then he's made an ultimatum saying, all right, write me back into the show then and I'll play along. So I can get back into my stuff. And then they're like, oh, okay.
True. I don't know. Okay. So,
but the reason you're thinking that is because Truman had hit an emotional spot. It was like, shit, that's dad.
Yeah. I think I was locked into Truman's heart there.
That was like the dad being like, nah, man, this is how else would he get recognized? He just looks like an old homeless dude and he can just blend in.
Yeah.
So if he's on the other side and never actually interacts with Truman, so when he does do that interaction with Truman after like 20 years, they're like, shit, that was your father?
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's cracked the code. I think you've cracked the seed of my feeling there. That's for sure. Yeah, I don't know. That kind of confused me, but I think you've enlightened my brain just now.
I've given you a ponder.
I thank you for that. All right, I have a really good point about the aesthetic of the town. If we want to get into some
the town was great.
Making specifics, very nice 50s combined with the 90s setting.
Yeah,
it was the pastel colors and you had still like modern technology and stuff and modern cars, but all the costumes. You know how they said you can buy all the costumes off the set.
Yeah,
and the household appliances and the architecture, everything was like really 1950s American dream sort of thing.
Yeah,
it was cool.
It was
very cool.
It was cool. I love the travel office or whatever.
Yeah, with the posters and stuff.
And it just had all like, this could happen to you with a lightning strike through the plane, or the terrorist stuff and all that. It was like, yeah,
it was perfect.
All the little things, like even the license plate. It said something like the perfect town to live or something like that.
Yeah.
It was all little propaganda. The show he watched, which was saying why leave when you're in
his friend when they're drinking beer, his doofus friend.
Yeah, what a doofus.
What a doofus. When they're looking at the sunset and he's like, man, it's perfect, Truman.
Yeah.
Why would you ever want to leave?
Yeah, what a dick, man.
What
He's
a
been in there
scoundrel.
Since he was 7. Well, that's most of his life.
Oh, tuberculosis. He got tuberculosis. No, pneumonia.
Pneumonia. Yeah, that was probably when he goes on holiday with his actual family.
Or maybe they switched him out for another actor.
What, you reckon?
Who knows?
What do you mean?
I don't know. Like,
you'd recognise that.
Do you reckon?
Yeah, that's...
People change physically, but...
Not after a month.
Oh, true, yeah. True.
Man. Finish it.
Oh, show!
Alright, nice.
Yeah.
I think we peaked there a bit, didn't you?
I think we took it over the limit.
I think you took it over the limit.
Yeah, I'm just throwing mad scallywags out there for you.
He was in there for 10,000 days. That's like 10,000 reasons.
Why?
10,000 reasons.
Bless the Lord, oh my soul. Do you think Truman was a religious man?
No.
No.
I don't reckon. I reckon he was an atheist.
And I think he was very cynical of the world, and he wanted to find the human meaning by making his own destiny.
Yeah. I think there was, in his season 22 of The Truman Show, he was a Satanist. That's why they...
Yeah, I completely agree.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
I just really don't like how his wife was there. I loved that, how they made his wife, like, forcefully meet him when it was like there was a clear connection between him and that Sylvia, and I was like, damn, man,
just ruining some chemistry right there,
ruining some heartfelt moments.
You already don't like her as a character.
Yeah. That's very good. I like that a lot.
All right, do you have anything to squiz my little lips with?
Well, all I'll say is this is my final point.
Okay. Yeah.
I think the ending was just perfect. The line, in case I don't see ya, good afternoon, good evening, good night. It gave me chills at the end.
Yeah.
The first 2 times, I think it's only said like 3 times.
That's
first
it.
2 times.
You're correct.
It's like, oh yeah, this is cool. And then when he says it at the end, it's like, oh, that is how you end a movie. That
sound effect.
That influences my score heavily.
Yeah.
That end heavily.
Oh man, it's just weighing down on your chest.
All right.
I have one last thing, and it is an appreciation for the movie. I just loved how it was just set up like a piece of theatre. Obviously human error was the reason for the faults of the show coming apart, and that's beautiful because that is a part of theatre. That's what happens, on like opening night, things go wrong and then you knit it up. But if you do something for too long and it gets mundane, then things can start to get go apart when you're relaxed too much, and that's what happened.
Yes,
and that's why I love it so much, because the theatre aspect is such an interesting part to it. With the costume changes and the lift and all sorts of things, the way they act, like really over the top sometimes.
Yeah.
Like that's like being on a stage.
It is.
But there's also the subtle acting as well, and that's what the beauty of this show in this movie is.
Oh,
super cool, man.
So hot. We are going to introduce a new segment.
I'm looking forward to this.
So I said to Scott, I want to interact with the people a little bit more.
Yeah.
I want to just hear what their opinions are on each movie that we see as well.
Yeah.
What better place to do that than the online website? I think it's an app as well.
Yeah.
Letterboxd, where people can go in and they just write their own reviews. I think maybe this week we'll stick to me reading because I've already figured them all out. But next week maybe we'll do I do trivia and you do the reviews, or
I
I
mean-
do the reviews and you do trivia? Because I feel like I'm taking up a lot of air here, and I
Don't
feel
even
bad.
Nah, man. You
We'll
know
see
what?
how it goes.
I love it when you give me stuff to bounce off because it just makes my nipples hard.
All right, maybe I'll be the content guy, and
Yeah.
you can just throw off. All right,
I'll be the squishy.
I've only got. It's only going to be 3 reviews per episode,
I love it.
and just a mix of them. So
Yeah.
I've got here 5 stars, One Division. I guess so.
One
One Division.
Actually, I see that with the
Yeah,
the
no,
aesthetic
TV show, yeah,
sort of thing,
I
the
guess
50s
so.
idea. Yeah,
I guess so.
Yeah.
3 stars. This happened to my buddy Eric.
Oh man, what an overdone meme.
I feel bad for your friend Eric, I guess. All
I
the
just
comments.
see that meme everywhere, man.
What? This happened to
my buddy Eric once.
Oh,
it
really?
just it's on every music meme ever.
Eric, man, he's lived.
It's in
Eric
the
has lived.
Giz shit posting Facebook page a lot. I see that comment all the time there.
What? This happened to my
My
buddy Eric.
once. Yeah,
Oh.
obviously because the drummer's Eric.
Yeah.
I don't think it started there though.
Yeah, well, that is the Eric.
That's so funny.
That's Eric from Giz.
Yeah, the multi-millionaire.
All right, and then this is my favorite review. When I was 11, I watched this and thought I was in a TV show, so I was afraid to shit, and I thought people were watching me, so I got constipated. 1 star.
That's amazing. Doesn't it remind you of that regular show episode when the and then
Peeps.
and then
Yeah.
the camera comes out of the toilet really, really long?
Yeah, imagine that you sit down and the camera comes up.
Oh my god, people, please go watch that episode, the Peeps episode of regular show. Amazing.
All right, trivia time.
Oh, hit me with it.
Ed Harris, which was the director,
Yeah.
and Jim Carrey, not the director of the movie, director in the movie.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Hang on, that's what I had. I had one more point. I'm so sorry to do this and
don't
pull back. It was really good. Like, this is like top shit. This is
You
make a cut. I'm gonna be quiet.
okay.
And we're back. Thank you, Scott, for the cut.
Yeah, that's fine.
I just didn't want to have like a bunch of dead air because I was padding. So we are watching actors pretend to be people watching actors playing townsfolk around Truman, who was an actor. Jim Carrey.
Oh man. Oh
So
man.
we, the audience, are watching actors who are the people in the bar,
Yeah.
pretending to be people watching actors who are the people around Truman,
Yeah.
being actors around Jim Carrey, who was an actor. Wow.
That's
Next level, am I right?
that's a mind explosion.
Yeah.
That's a mind dussy.
That is a mind dussy. Ed Harris, who's the director of...
The chasm that just keeps on giving.
Oh, shit. My buddy Eric actually did that. Ed Harris, who's the director in the movie,
Yes.
and Jim Carrey, who's Truman.
Oh yeah. Thanks.
You've heard of him?
Yeah.
Well,
I've
they
heard
never
that, man.
met during filming.
Wow. Yeah, they've never had a scene together
They've never met.
in the movie.
In the movie.
They've never had a scene together ever.
So that makes them feel like less connected, I guess.
I like that a lot.
That's pretty hot. Oh, cool. Oh, excuse me.
You
The
just-
original script had Truman Burbank living in New York City, but he wanted to change it to a town. Peter Weir, the director.
Yeah.
Make it more sci-fi. No, less sci-fi.
Yep. I agree with that. That's a cool idea.
It's a better choice.
Less Gotham City, more Edward Scissorhands.
I don't know if it's less sci-fi.
Less sci-fi.
A town, there's usually sci-fi shit that happens in a town, but
Yeah.
I think it was the
It
right
is.
choice.
Yeah, because it is like
Absolutely.
you can't really pinhole it as a genre. This movie, like, there's drama, there's a bit of romance.
I'd say it's drama.
There's comedy.
I'd say it's drama.
You'd say drama,
I'd say drama.
but there's the sci-fi element to it, which is heavily in the theme as well. But it's not like the main point of it, isn't it?
Mm.
It's cool. It's really done well.
And this is just a weird one to end on. According to a 2008 New York Times article, psychologists in Britain and the US reported a number of people experiencing Truman syndrome, or the Truman Show delusion, the belief that they are unwitting star of their own reality TV show.
There we go.
People
There
took
it
this
is.
to the next level.
Oh, of course. You know, you get a piece of media and people are inspired by it, but sometimes not in the best way. You know, art inspires art. They're just artists.
They are artists.
Beautiful. All right, I think it's time that we Score this shit.
How about
Excuse me.
we have some backing? Oh, actually no, that would get copyright. You do your thing first.
I wish we had some like backing music that we could put underneath this.
You can find some, can't you?
You know
nah,
what?
that's a lot of effort.
I think I might just do something.
All right, because I got a big score.
Okay. You ready?
Yeah.
9 out of 10 nugs for me.
You ready?
Yeah.
First of the show. 10.
Oh, yeah.
This is the end of the episode. Thank you for listening to the Butts to Nuts podcast.
If you enjoyed the podcast and want to support us, you can do any number of these 3 things.
Number 1.
Tell a friend, a family member, or even a random person off the street to listen to our podcast.
Number 2.
Leave a review. The higher the better.
Number 3.
Follow and support us on our social media platforms, being Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok, all with the usernames Butts to Nuts.
Again, thank you for listening. See you next week.